So Sunil, thank you so much for taking time. I know I've sort of squished myself into your schedule. Thank you so much for doing this. So first of all, how's the injury? We are all eagerly waiting for you to get back to the national team.
Yeah, I'm taking enough precautions. I'm taking complete rest. And I don't actually remember last time when I had this luxury. When I spoke to the head coach, he was very kind. Also, Gigi George was involved. And it wasn't great because I missed 2 games and I hate missing games. But yeah, I think it was needed. I think in totality, it was needed, of course, because of the ankle injury. But also mentally, I think I needed that little bit of break. I feel better. Been eating everything that I want, just chilling and no alarm clocks. So feeling a little bit fresh, which is good. And slowly now I'm going to start my ankle strengthening. It's one of those injuries where you can't completely switch off. Also, our camp is going to start soon. I don't also want to be far behind as far as fitness is concerned. So I'm going to start slowly. And yeah, looking forward to the next camp.
So you will be fit for the Asian Cup qualifiers, right? Hopefully.
Oh, I don't that. The only way that I'm not playing that if the coach doesn't want me to play.
I mean,
think about it, Sandeep. It's the qualifiers for a tournament, which is very, very important for us. We done decently well in the last one, and the least we as a nation have to do is to qualify. So yeah, we need everyone, whoever is going to be called at the camp, at our best to put our best foot forward.
Absolutely. This is one of the questions I wanted to ask you, because over the years when we've had a conversation, you always said just playing Asian Cup is absolutely necessary. There is no two ways about it. So going into the qualifiers, for you, where you are in your career, having twice played the tournament already, how important do you think this is going to be?
Oh, it's very, very important, and I think it's bigger than me and beyond me. It's just not about me; it's just about the whole team. We saw exactly what it did to our confidence and the way we played and the way we think about ourselves. When you go and play at the AFC Asia Cup, it's I mean, let's face it, it's the biggest tournament for us Asian teams to gaze ourselves against the best in Asia. So we have a tricky group, and the good part is that we are playing at home. So it just means that a little bit more added advantage / responsibility / pressure. So we just want to be as prepared as possible.
Absolutely. What do you think of the national team at the moment? Because it's been sort of a, I wouldn't want to call it experiment, because Stimac says it's not an experiment. You're just figuring out, giving chance opportunities for players to see. So you've seen so many transitions over the years. So what do you think of the team right now?
I think I'm really excited. I think we have got a very good bunch of players who are talented, and you may be in the either side of liking the way Mr. Stimac functions or not liking it. But the good part about him is whatever he sees good in the present value, he plays the play, which probably also means that for this or that reason, he hasn't got his first 11 or 14 yet. It might be because of injuries. It might be because of the AFC tournaments that few of the clubs were playing. And that might be the reason again now, because 2 of the clubs are going to be involved in the AFC duties for the clubs. But keeping all this aside, if somebody is doing well in training, he will back the boy. And which in a way is a good thing. Also, as a captain, I probably would prefer as soon as possible for us to get 14, the first 14. But that also, the onus is also on the players more than the coach. You know what I mean? To give him the right headache is good, where he can't choose. But also people edging out a little bit and cementing their place is good for a team when you want to consistently perform, especially when it comes to tournament like the one that we're going to play next.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, there are people on both sides of liking Stimac, and I happen to be one of them who says he has to take the team to the Asian Cup. That's what he is brought here to do. So that's, you have to let him do his thing. The cycle has to happen. So inside the team, how do you deal with the pressure of all the chatter and the noise?
For me, it's a little bit easier than the others one. because I've been praised and abused so much that I'm thick. But for the younger ones, it becomes a little bit difficult. And also because now with every year, social media is getting huge and plays a very prominent part in players' life. If they like it or not, or if they want it or not, that's the way it is. So my duty as one of the senior players is just to calm them down. Others' opinion is not going to help you on the pitch. There are few players who take it. There are few players who get bothered by it. There are few players who don't. But no matter which category you are in, it's not going to help you tomorrow on training. So that's the kind of we have in the camp. Sometimes it gets really, really difficult. One example that I can give you is not being able to score against Sri Lanka in the second game of SAF Cup. There was such a bad atmosphere at the camp and a lot of flack that we got. Probably we deserved it. Now, I have no shame in saying that. So yeah, and that moment I saw a lot of young ones getting really, really affected. Because as you know, few of the critics do not spare anyone now. It's not only that Chhetri and Ego Team match or Gurpreet is going to get abused. It's everyone now. Which is a good part because that means a lot of people are watching and they want the team to do well, which is always good, always welcome. So it's just the way life is now, Sandeep. You know, you can't hide. You can't. I mean, there's a lot of interest, and with a lot of interest comes these kind of pressures that you have to deal with.
Yeah, you've seen the change also, right? When you started, social media was not that, or not that much involved and stuff. So you also must have seen how the evolution has happened.
Yeah. Whatever abuse you got was on the pitch, and then and then at home people used to discuss, but they didn't medium to tell the player exactly how they felt. So now it is there, and again you can like it or you hate it, but it's the way it is. As I said, because I have the experience of having it in abundance, I've got a right balance, not right balance, but kind of a balance, and I keep myself away from it. Also, I'm in a phase of my sporting career where I really want to enjoy Sandeep. You know, I know I am like I know I'm going to play less than what I've already played. I don't know exactly when it's going to end, but I know I'm at this side of the spectrum, so I just go there and enjoy. There's a lot of pressure, but I just want to enjoy because after I'm done, whenever it is, I don't want to have regret that I couldn't do well because I was thinking too much about what people were thinking. And that's the kind of message that I try to give all the youngsters also. Try and stay away from all this.
So, do you think you can enjoy? Because I know how competitive you are. I played caroms with you once, and I seen how absolutely competitive you are. So, with that kind of a motive, that makes you who you are as well, right? That's what drove you to be the player that you are. So, how are you changing that to sort of enjoy yourself next year, hopefully in front of the fans back again?
No, that is a part of enjoyment. I will not change the way I play. But I just have to control, not think about what people are thinking or expecting from me.
Okay.
With every pass, it has become more and more and more, and I understand it. It's also a privilege. You know what I mean? People expecting from you is also a privilege. You know, you are one of. So you can't completely deny or hate it, but you have to find a balance to keep the noise a little bit far. But make no mistake, me wanting to win is the same when I was 16 and now. You know, that probably will never change because that's why you play sports, because you want to win. You know, and after the game is done, because you're not going to win every game, telling yourself you give your best and it's okay, sometimes you're going to lose, it's fine. But before the game, you want to win. Tomorrow I'm playing any game, I want to win first. So that probably will not change, Sandeep. But when I say I'm going to enjoy it more, means when the game is going on, I will think about what I can do much more than what people are expecting or what the atmosphere or what the scenario commands. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. I'm going to do more as to what I want to do, and I will still make mistakes and I'll still lose games, but I want to enjoy it more than think about what is expected from me as a player and as a captain.
So, just touching on last season, a better season for BSC than the season before. You had a lot of youngsters come in, transitions happening. On a personal level, you started a little slow when it was out of the team, but then you came back. So that shows the player that you are as well. So how was the season for you? And at the end, I think you were playing injured, despite injury.
I did not start slow, Sandeep. I just missed too many goals that I shouldn't.
Yeah.
Let me remind you, I came from a SAF Cup where I scored 5 or 6 goals.
Yeah.
There were problems. Then I missed 2 penalties back to back, which cost our team 6 points. No, sorry, 4. Yeah, 5 points. Then I hit the bar. Then I missed some very, very easy goals against FC Goa and one more team. And then I was sacked to be on the bench. I did not like that. I did not agree to it, but I know why the coach did it. I know why I did it because of whatever chances and whatever things I missed. And coming back again after 3 games, I sat on the bench coming back. That's just normal. When you are being or not happy with your performance, the only way is to work hard. So I was just calculating the other day how many goals that I missed that I should have scored, like very easy ones. There were some 9 goals. Also, imagine I have taken those 2 penalties. The rest 3 penalties I would have taken also, the ones that my team scored. So it wasn't that I wasn't getting chances.
Yeah.
It wasn't that I think one of the reasons our team didn't do well is me individually. There were more other errors, but at the topmost of pyramid, I come. And I take the responsibility of the team inside the dressing room that if I have done my quota of 10 goals, generally I do, we wouldn't have been where we ended up because we are this close.
Yeah.
Not that I didn't get chances. It's not that I wasn't getting into the right places. It's not that I wasn't running. It's not that I was unfit. Barring the last 3-4 games because I had a swollen ankle. But barring that, it wasn't that, I wasn't eating well or I wasn't training or this or that. It wasn't. I ate up at least 4 more assists of Roshan, simple ones. And he would have been more happy. I missed 2 penalties, which never happened in my life. But then I also realized that that's life. You know what I mean? I mean, you're going to have bad days and that's all right. You can sulk and cry. That also is all right. But you got to come back. And that's what I tried. And that's what I'm going to try again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But make no mistake, it was no one's fault that I sat on the bench. It was me, myself first. And also one of the reasons why we didn't do well because of me missing chances that I shouldn't have missed. And I'm not talking about a decent, difficult chances. Some of the chances were really easy. Some of them, there were no goalkeepers. So at that point, you can't just say, what you tried or this, that, because the stakes are really high. At least hitting the have been good. Few of them flew over the bar. So yeah, I mean, once that happens, you already chasing a lost cause, which we did. We turned it around, but it wasn't enough at the end. There were a lot of reasons, but I think me scoring the ones that I should have scored is one of them.
Yeah, when I said slow, I meant in terms of goals because we could all see the effort that you put in, and we also knew you would come back because if you remember the start of your career in BFC, you were on the bench, and there was a lot of people saying you didn't score, and then I think you scored a double 3 games in a row or something like that. And you asked us also, "Am I scoring enough for you?" So there was never a question that you are not going to come back. So that part is absolutely. If I misspoke, that part is clear.
No, I understand.
Yeah. So now you still play on the left, right? And you put so much effort also. So is there any thought of you maybe going to the center because at the end you did play?
Personally, I would love to play number 10. They come if I have a good understanding with the coach, and he also it. I am not a player that I'm going to throw my weight and say I'm going to play here only. I haven't done it ever. I will not do it now also. So I love playing as a number 10 behind the striker. One of my best days are behind Bachung Bhutia or behind JJ. You know what I mean? Behind Miko.
Yeah.
Those days because I love probably I understand it more. But then I'm not too fussed about where the coach wants you to play. Because see, at the end of the day, it is not about the running. Because even last year, I was one of the fittest players in my team. When we do tests and all, running is not a problem. It's not that in left you have to run more. Maybe you have to do more defensively as compared to number 10. But that's not an excuse. Tomorrow, if I play a number 10 and we have to defend well, I have to come down. In modern football, you can't just say I'm going to stand unless you are Messi. Apart from him, no one can say I'm going to stand and do only the attacking bit. So, and also I said Messi because he's that good, not because he's lazy. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, to run and to fight for the team, it's constant and necessary, bare minimum. Apart from that, if you ask me, I like playing number 10 more. For one of the most simplest reason is whenever there are crosses, I'm in the box.
Yeah.
And I love that. The more I'm in the box, I fancy myself more. And I can play off a striker. As I said, I've had the best time playing with Miku, JJ, Baichungbai. Whenever they were number 9, I'm just behind them. But that will only come once I have the understanding with the coach. But if the coach doesn't want that, and if he wants me to play somewhere else, I will try my best.
So now some quick fire questions I wanted to ask you. Which book are you reading now?
Oh, I'll just show you, man. It's
0 to 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, is this the next career after football? Startups and investments?
No. I'm too amateur for that, man. But it intrigues me. It really does. I'm in a streak of reading a lot about finances and people financial business, and I like it. I really like it, and yeah. And in between, just to have fun, I'm reading this, which I generally don't.
Before the coffee gets. I saw this recently. Yeah.
By Kunal, not me to my wife, but I stole it. This is more of a fun book. It's a fiction, and I generally don't. Not generally, I never read fiction, but because Kunal was pestering us that this is a good one, and actually it is a good one.
Yeah, there is a book. There's a psychology of money. There's a book. I don't know if you already read it. Yeah, and you would have read it. It's a good book.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, and you are also oftentimes when I ask for interviews, Kunal says he's gone to the woods. He's gone trekking. He's gone to check the animals. So where does this love for these animals come from?
Man, it's just natural inside. I mean, we just at the top of the pyramid as the most privileged animal. We sometimes forget, and me including. So sometimes, you just have to go back and meet them. And few of them are less in numbers now. I don't want to use the other word because then it makes me sad. And tiger is one of them. I mean, so many animals in this world, but for me, it's the best. Yeah. So whenever I go, and Kabini is one of the favorite destinations that we have. Many reasons, but one of them is just 4.5 hours from here. Kabini and Bandipur, we choose Kabini more because we have been fortunate more there. Yeah, and the good part also is my wife completely shares my love towards animals, especially the tiger. So it doesn't take a lot of persuasion for me to tell her that let's go. Yeah,
the captain of the Blue Tigers after, so makes sense.
Yeah.
Are you doing that 52 books a year challenge?
No.
Okay.
I just so in the bubble I was reading a book in 3.5-4 days, which is way beyond my level. I'm generally 10-15 days a book, and then a little bit of gap, and then but at the bubble I did 4-day a book, which was great. Yeah. And Kunal tells me this to keep a cap as to who you read, who the author was, what from the book. I don't do it. It's there. Whatever is necessary is going to stay in my head. Whatever is not, probably is not. Yeah, he's more organized. You know how he is, man.
Yeah.
So he's like Skip, you have to write what you read, and the synopsis or just that you got from the book and the author. I said, nah.
Yeah, that's maybe a little too much. Even for me, when I do read, and I don't write anything down.
Yeah, but
you can always go back.
Yeah, but through your medium, if people are going to, as number of people that are going to read or see yours, read books, man. It's unbelievable. Before, when people used to tell me, I used to think, why are you lecturing me? But now you understand. It's one of the best things.
Absolutely. Because I write every day, right? For a long part in my career, I didn't read because I was reading all day and then typing and then checking pages and reading articles and research. I just didn't want to read anymore. But last pandemic, when it started, there was finally some time and got back to reading again. And I just realized how much I missed it and how much, all the time you look at the screen, half an hour at least a day would be absolutely amazing. Yeah. So one thing we always wanted to ask is, why don't you celebrate all the goals? Some goals you celebrate and some you don't. And sometimes when you don't celebrate, we don't know if you scored. If you are in the, on the stadium, you just walk away.
Yeah, I'm completely happy when I score. Like like I think it just sometimes it doesn't come out naturally. Sometimes it does, and it doesn't. There is no symmetry to which goal I'm going to celebrate. It just emotions comes out. Maybe the importance of the game, or the I think more than often it's the importance of the game. And when I score, it's not the kind of goal I score. But a lot of people have told me, especially young kids, that it is not something nice. Trust me, it's not from arrogance. It's not from monotony. It just it's just the way it is. I never thought about it, but inside I'm the happiest. The net bulging sound, it's a very nice
Yeah.
sound, the best feeling in the world. And I think I've scored some 400 goals in my life, missed 800 plus. But it's the best feeling. It's the best feeling. Maybe I have no idea why I don't, but inside I'm really really happy. And some of
Absolutely.
them
But
I
when you do celebrate, it's often iconic, right? The one you hugged Kunal. I have a
yeah.
photo when you scored your hat trick against, I think, Pune, and you were celebrating like this in the fan from the back. There's a photo of that, which I think you have. You also have the same photo.
That's not because of the hat trick.
Yeah, because
That's
of the
because
semi-final, right?
no, that because we were 2-0
Ah.
and they kick a blinder. It was
Hmm.
2-1, and in the last 5 minutes we had a choice. Either we sit back,
Hmm.
but 2-2 they qualify.
Hmm.
So I still remember Dimas telling me that we are not doing it, Skip. We're going
Hmm.
forward because we need the goal.
Yeah.
And it was very clear, we need this goal. And I was thinking, this is 5 minutes, let's sit back. And I no, we need this goal. So
Hmm.
that's why I did pass and I had to run. And that is why it was so important. Not because I scored a hat trick, because that goal sealed, and also with the mentality of Dimas, because I clearly remember him telling me that we are not sitting back because otherwise we'll concede.
So one of the questions we ask everybody here is, what is the funniest thing that has happened to you on a football field? It can be a conversation or any of those things.
There are many funny things, man. 90% of them would not qualify, in but there are many, man. I mean, we are probably one of the funniest breeds in sports. Footballers are the funniest and the biggest pranksters. The good part is now people keep me away from the pranks because I'm a fossil. But I get to witness all the pranks. So there are many funny things that happen around the dressing room. You have put me on a spot, so I can't tell you anything right now
On
off
the
the top.
field.
Oh, on the pitch,
Yeah.
there are many. If somebody is about to clear and he slips, or yeah. I remember one. It turned out to be a bad one, but it
Mm.
was funny later. So we had I don't know if you remember this. We considered a goal against Kerala last year when there
Mm.
was a count, and we considered because what's the kid name? No. The one who scored for Kerala, KP Rahul. KP Rahul, na? KP
Ah.
Rahul scored the goal. It was our corner, and the drill was we'll all go inside and offset. Our player
Mm.
offset,
Mm.
the
Norwegian, yeah.
Scandinavian. Yeah.
Yeah.
He come round and he will shoot. But he
Mm.
forgot. He forgot. So we all went. He also went. And the ball came grounded and Dimas lost his head. When the counter was happening, he's abusing offset. And offset is sprinting. And he wasn't known for his sprints.
Yeah.
And he's sprinting mad. But then we couldn't save the goal. So later on the next day, when Carlos was showing us the replay, and we were like, here goes offset trying to be Usain Bolt to save the goal, but he couldn't. It was so funny. We all went and we're looking where is offset, and offset also went inside because he had to come around and take a shot. And it was a great assist by Dimas, but because he
Mm.
was not there, the opponent got the ball and they played it to Rahul and he scored.
Yeah.
But the other day in our meeting, it was funny. Yeah, things like that happen.
This is really hilarious. I hear so many such stories. Ranedy celebrating at the, what is it, derby match. He kicked a water bottle and broke his toe after scoring the goal. Or Cabra telling someone because he didn't know what language he spoke, just pointing at him and doing this.
Yeah,
Saying.
yeah.
So thanks so much, Sunil. Thanks so much for your time. All
Thank
the
you,
best to
Sandeep.
you. Yeah. Take care and see you in the field soon.
Cheers.